Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is. Glad you're here. So, after we did our other grungy journal, I had a lot of bits left over, so I put together another little grungy journal here, and I thought I would show you guys. And I just realized I forgot to do a couple things, but that's okay. First off, here's our cover. So still kind of really grungy, really cool. I did a piece of this like jute twine, did some sewing on it on my sewing machine, got this fastened on really well with a button closure just to wrap like so. And then this is a pocket up here. So I haven't put anything in this pocket yet, so I still need to do that. Then here's another big pocket here in the front. So that's got some space for something. So I need to stick something in there. Then we have two signatures. And so this is 3 inches tall. Let me see. Maybe not quite 3. Look at my ruler here. Here we go. Yeah, it's like 3.5 tall. And then I guess I should have measured it here this way. Okay, so this is like a little bit more than 4, so like 4.5. And then tall wise, it's roughly, the cover is about 3 inches, but then we have stuff that kind of sticks out here and there. So those are our dimensions. So 2 signatures, so getting right started. Little flip outs, fun little things. Did some collage on the pages to make them more writable. Here's a nice big pocket with a little journal card and then a little stamp just clipped underneath there. And then here is what I have underneath this. So we have just like a little reproduction of a little postcard for writing space. Little fabric page with a little bulb pin, shell. Did some extra doodling and stuff on there. Little shabby notebook kind of stitched in here on this side. Lots of writing space here, a little collaging to like give you more blank space to write on, covering up some of the text, kind of fun. So this page is made from 2 of those round filter papers that I've had and I had dyed, and I just sewed them together on the sewing machine to make a full page. Then this little guy, a fun little photo, could be written on the back. Could use it as like the journaling spot or whatever, or just something fun. Then this is a little floating pocket. So this was made from the piece of an envelope, and then I just clipped it underneath there. So it's a little floating pocket, and I have a little tag that can be written on, and then I have this other little scrap that has an old stamp on it, and then that just gets slipped back under there. So whoever gets this journal in the future can glue that pocket someplace or do whatever they want. Then this is safety pinned on here. So another little kind of shabby notebook place to do stuff or tear pieces off to use elsewhere. Fabric page on this side, because of how I had torn it, it ended up having like a weird flap, which I then sewed to make a pocket. So it's got a pocket there. Really fun journaling card. Let me see if this is focusing, with just some stickers and some bits and pieces of stuff here. And I left the edges rough. This is part of an old vintage button card, but I thought that was kind of a fun little addition to tuck in there. Taped on some extra piece on here to make this one longer, and then we're to the center of our signature. So that's in the center of the first signature. And then this guy was really cute. I love layering stuff like that, so they're like peeking out of stuff, things that make me giggle. And then this is eco-dyed handkerchief. Then I took some pattern paper and just glued it on here, added some smudges and a little card or a little label. More of our paper, and then this is just a couple scraps kind of tucked under here. So I layered them with some of that pattern paper, so this could be written on too. Same thing with this. This was a sticker that I also turned into like a little simple journaling card just for some variation. On this side, a couple little scraps that I put together to make another little journaling card, just plain little thing, using up our scraps. Here's the other side of that. More of that kind of collage. Then I made like a belly band here. And then we have two little journaling cards stuck in here. This one I like too. It's a needle book kind of thing. I used a lot of that pattern paper in this one to kind of make things more interesting. Little tuck spot. Use a little circle piece, added some little bits. Just simple little things to tuck in. The other fabric page here. Fun little addition. Then this side we have a pocket. And this is just from kids book page. Some stitching here. Adding on this little fabric to the edge. Little flip out. Could be used as a tuck or something. Then moving on to here. So here's the center. So there would be space to put something. So we could do one of those elastic pockets in here, something like that. Envelope. That's our page that's been modified here. And I stuck one of my nicer little tags in there. But I kind of thought it went with the theme. I added a few little shabby bits to it. That goes under there. So same thing as what we've seen previously. Another little thing tucked in here for writing space. Show our page. Same here. I have a couple little pieces tucked in. Well, just this one. This actually is glued to this page. But I like these like big things. Another fabric page, a little flip here. And I reinforced these with some tape and some stickers just because that constant folding with some of these older papers is going to be a problem. Kids book page, big flip on this side, making it fun. More of that collage on there, so you have writing space, make it a little more grungy. This is just tucked in, so this is Sleeping Beauty, and it is from the center pages. So both of the center pages and this signature are from the same book page, and I'll show you that when we get to the center of this. Another one of those little reproduction postcards as a writing spot. This fabric page, I just clipped on a couple of more little bits there. Then here, I used part of this packaging to make like a page tab that also is a tuck. So this could also be writing space, or those could be cut apart to be added to the journal other places. Here's the back side of that. And then little tuck here so that this little grunged up little bit is in there. Another little pocket here. So another little piece of reproduction that I grunged up to make it fun to use, and a little photograph that I backed as well. So those are in this little pocket, and now we get to the center. So here's the center. So this is from Sleeping Beauty as well. So was the other part with the dog on it that was in the center of that one. They were all from the same page. And then the Sleeping Beauty part was the title that was over the top. So I thought it was kind of fun. I wish I had lined it up a little bit different so it was going to be right in her face, and I had done it a little bit more off center. But, you know, it still looks nice. And then it's just another thing to remind myself for next time to take a peek at and make sure where I have it folded, it's going to work the best. So another little photo here, another little interesting little bit. And then decorated the little edge of the pocket, and then we have like a little round tab up here. So this is just a circle and another circle like glued together, one on each side to make a tab. Some doodles, more doodles here. Added one of my pre-made page tabs here, and then made a couple of little grungy journaling cards to tuck in there. And then this is stitched on here. You can't see the stitching very good on this side, but I have some little slow stitching there. And then, so this whole panel is stitched here, and then it's pinned over here. So this could be used for some other bits and things in the journal too, for whoever gets this journal in the future. Another little collage page, then some stitching that you can see here, which is holding this little flip. Little shabby kind of notebook that's in this page, giving you some extra places to write, or you can tear those bits off and put them into the journal wherever you want. More kids book page. And last page here, little flippy. Oh, I guess we're not quite done. Another little flippy, added some tape on the edge. Then this is a vintage little necklace pendant. So I added that on to this pin. That is on this side. So I have a safety pin here with this little cute kid. And then a bit of lace. And then this had been stitched as well under there. And this side, we have extra doodles and covered up the text so we have more writing space. And then staples sticking out here because I stapled on a little bit of writing page and some of our other little scraps in there for fun. And then our last page, I made a really big journaling card here with a little tab on the top. So this was plain manila paper that just had the drawing on it, and I highlighted it just with different types of Stabilo, water-soluble pencil. So in black and orange, and then this is one of my pre-made tabs. It was perfect. So then that can slide back in here. So that's it, our fun little grungy journal. And I'm probably going to put this up for sale on my Ko-fi site. I just need to get a chance to get some of my things on there for people if they're interested. If you are interested, just send me an email too. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little flip through of this grungy little journal, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. I love hearing from people. And first and foremost, don't forget, art with your heart. Have a great day. Bye.